mind, I'm going to go even before the dance recital. I'm going to go all the way up to 7 a.m.
Okay.
Because at 7 a.m., Paula Barbieri, who was Simpson's current girlfriend, she attempted to call him on his car phone, but received a voice messaging service. So she left a voicemail on his phone at that time. This is 7 a.m. At the same time, Nicole's getting ready to go out and do some shopping for her kids. She's going to buy some clothing for her children. And Simpson's preparing to go on some golf outing. I don't have the total details on that, but he's going to do some golfing with someone. I think it's probably business related. The message she left on Simpson's messaging service, as she testified to this at a deposition for the civil trial. She said that she told OJ in the message something to the effect of, quote, between work, the kids, golf, my schedule, it was difficult to work things out, something like that. And that she closed it like that. And that was her way of saying that, this is not working. The relationship's going to have to end. Now, later, OJ would deny ever receiving this message. He did not want it established that he would be angry about her breaking up with him, so he never acknowledged it. And he, in fact, denied that he ever received it. But there's evidence that he did receive it. I'll get back to that.
Okay.
Matter of fact, let me just address it right now. When she called him again, and she left 3 more messages.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm sorry. He called her and left 3 messages because they were both going different places. She was going to Las Vegas, and he was going to be going to Chicago. And since she didn't reach him, she just felt she'd leave a message. And he couldn't reach her, so he left her 3 messages. And she said by the language of the messages, she was certain that he had received her message. And this is important because he denies ever receiving the Dear John message from her that morning. So he can't deny it at this point because there's proof there that he did receive the messages and had the content. He knew what the content of her messages were because she stated such. And I wouldn't say that she is an unreliable person. There would be no reason for her to lie because roughly she was in support of him during her testimony at the civil trial. So to turn around and make up something against him, I think that would be unrealistic. So I think it's true that he actually received the message. And this is important because it sets the tone for him having a very psychologically emotional day. He gets dumped by his current girlfriend, and his ex-wife doesn't want anything to do with him at this point. So he's probably getting pretty upset. Let's see where we're at here. So let me see. Going after 7 a.m., we can go up to about, it's nothing really significant that I'm aware of until we get about to the recital at 6:15. There was, during the criminal trial, there was a lot of argument about OJ's demeanor at the recital. The contention was from the defense, hey, he's laughing, he's talking, he's enjoying himself. This is not the behavior of a person who would be committing murders. But on the other hand, Denise, Nicole's sister, saw how angry he was inside of there. He just had a mean look on his face and was very agitated. He apparently complained that Nicole was wearing clothing that was not appropriate for that event. According to Denise, the clothing, he said he complained that the clothing was something you wear out at a nightclub or something. So he was upset about that. Yeah. and there's some photos of that night too. So, or that day at the recital, which shows there might even be video. I'm pretty sure it shows OJ pretty. He's in a good mood. He's laughing. He's greeting people, even giving people kisses and whatnot, which is opposite of what Denise observed inside. My opinion on that is this: we have emotions, and they can erupt instantaneously. We can change when we're around certain people. We can be angry if we, are in others situations.
Mm-hmm.
If he's angry inside of the auditorium and he comes out and this is the end of the recital, everyone's happy about Sydney doing her dance, and he has to greet people. If he was upset 15, 20 minutes before, there's no reason why he can't change his demeanor just so he can present himself before other people while he's outside. So I don't have an issue with Denise perceiving him as angry or violent or however she described him. She said he wasn't pleasant and complaining about the way Nicole was dressed. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so when I said OJ called Gretchen Stockdale at 7:35 that morning, no, 7:35 p.m., he called Gretchen Stockdale. At this point, he called several other people too. He called Jasmine Guy, who was she was a actress on one of the Cosby Show spinoff programs. It was her, Gretchen, and some other people. According to Kato Kalin, he called several people, trying to hook up with someone, I suppose. And it's allegedly, according to Gretchen Stockdale, who gave a deposition, she said OJ told her quote, for the first time, I'm finally not tied to anyone. That's not a direct quote. That's a paraphrase, but he said something to that effect. Like, for the first time, I'm not involved. And so that's more confirmation that he was not going to be with Nicole and not with Paula Barbieri. So I'm thinking his anger is stewing at this point. He can't get a date. The two women in his life are rejecting him. And then when they go to the Mezzaluna restaurant, he's not invited. Nicole didn't want him. Nicole didn't want him there, so he didn't get to go. So now they're eating food on his money. He's getting rejected all over the place. So I think he's pretty upset at this point. And I think what the straw that broke the camel's back was there was a phone call between he and Nicole at about 9:30, I think it was. And I can only speculate as to what that call consisted of. But I think whatever it was, that was the catalyst for her being murdered. This is my own opinion. I think something was said in that discussion that sent him over the edge, and that's when he decided he was going to go confront her. I'm not saying that he had it in his mind that he was going to kill her at that point, but I think he wanted to go confront her at that point.
They was eating food at McDonald's at 9:25, right? Is that when they got it?
They were at McDonald's at 9:25. Yep. And so
okay,
that phone call would have taken place after they got back, I think.
Okay.
Don't
I
hold
was
me
just
on
picturing
that.
him driving and stewing.
Yeah, he's driving and eating. I don't know if he's driving and talking on the phone though. But I do know that there's some record of a phone call at that time between Simpson and Nicole. It may have been afterwards.